This course is brought to you by AppyPie as part of our Academy series.
So there's this common scenario where a non-technical person gets a really good idea for an app or thinks they have a good idea for an app. We don't know. Should they hire a developer or a web development agency? Big question that a lot of people face. So first of all, hiring is very expensive. A developer will cost thousands of dollars. An agency will cost tens of thousands of dollars. It's all going to be out of your pocket or the pocket of somebody who cares enough about you to help you with that money, which you don't want to lose their money, or an investor, which you also don't want to lose that money. In any case, you don't want to lose the money, right? Of course, big risk. Here's my suggestion. Almost no one takes me up on this suggestion, but I have to suggest it anyway. I would suggest that you learn to code. It's going to take you longer. Your app isn't going to be as good in the beginning. And by the way, Udemy has great courses to teach you how to learn to code. I didn't make those courses, so I have no incentive to promote them, but I think Udemy is like a great place to learn to code actually. And there are many dev communities that I've used. Again, I have no incentive to promote them, like Stack Overflow, where if you get stuck on something, people will help you. It's a community site. So it's not easy. Programming is hard, but it's easier than spending tens of thousands of dollars or risking them, right? In my eyes, anyway. So I recommend trying to learn it. It's hard, it's frustrating, I know, but there are good resources, and what's going to happen is it will empower you long term. And next time you have an app idea, you can just make it. Next app, you just make it. Next app, you just make it. I mean, that's $100,000 that you would have had to spend, right? And that's not even saying about, you make the app, but that's just launch, right? After you make the app, you have to improve it, change it, improve it. That's like hundreds of thousands of dollars ultimately. I mean, in my apps, I've made hundreds of updates to them. I programmed it luckily, but if I had to pay someone, it would be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's no way, right? So the math doesn't make sense. The financial math doesn't make sense a lot of the time when you hire someone, and it does make sense when you make it on your own. And just to explain, let me explain to you how a typical agency experience may go for you. This is very common. They give you a financial estimate, right? And this may be the same for a developer or an agency. So let's say they say $20,000. You say, great. They get, in 3 months. It comes in 3 months, and they're saying, well, guess what? It's not done yet. We're going to need another 2 months and $5,000 more. What are you going to do? If you say no, then all you have is a heap of code and no app, right? So you kind of almost are forced to say, okay, here's $5,000 more. Then they're going to come back, oh, we need $2,000 more, right? So maybe they gave you an estimate of 20, you'll end up spending close to 30,000. It's typically how they work because they know you're super stuck. You're relying completely on them, and you have no other choice, because if you go to another developer and say, hey, can you use this code? Maybe you can, pick up where they left off. They'll probably say, oh my God, I don't want to look at other people's code. I'd rather just program it from scratch. And you'll be like, well, from scratch, it's like from zero. I mean, you would have to throw away all that money. So it's not a complete scam, but it's scam-ish that is very common in this industry, that I've seen a lot of app developers get stuck with situations like this when they hired agencies. You do get a really nice product in the end if you hire a professional agency, but it's expensive, and you have to think about the costs. I mean, I know you're excited about the app, but there are serious costs, right? And like I said, the app launch is just the beginning. You'll have to save your money so that you can continue to improve the app and promote the app and get other kinds of help. Maybe, so you really want to save your money. So my recommendation, if you could try it, try to learn to code. It's hard, but it's doable if you put your mind to it, and it will really help you long term. I've seen people where I've had this conversation years ago, and then like a year or two later, they're like, wow, I wish I learned to code when we talked. So many times that happened, and so anyway, that's my personal advice from dealing with hundreds of people who are in the mobile app space. a lot of them non-technical, and I really understand them because I talk to them before they make their app, after, when they hire, what they go through. I see it all, and this is based on that, this is my recommendation to you here.